Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Start to Different Day, the last show of 2020 before Christmas. Wow.
What?
Zero enthusiasm in the room.
What? It's not the last. It's not the last.
The last show before Christmas.
But she said the last show of 2020.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Before Christmas.
Because the
Why
next
would you
show
add
of
20
2020 is after Christmas.
So why wouldn't you say the last show before Christmas? The 2020 makes no sense in that.
It doesn't need to make sense, Joe.
Well, you're our editor. You yell at us. What do you mean? It has to make sense.
This
I
is
don't
not
understand.
writing, spoken word. Anyway, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hyro.
Wow.
I'm still confused at the opening sentence. I don't like it.
How's your flower cup, Joe?
I don't like it. Oh, it's right here. My water, my flower cup. Again, I don't plan these things. It's just here. It's just here.
Right.
It's in a rotation with a dog cup and a soccer cup. Keep in mind, I owned none of these before I met Maggie. So
I really thought the flower cup was yours.
no, flower cup was not mine. The amount of cups I owned in my apartment grew by, I don't know, 20 when I met Maggie. So
Yeah, you probably were just sipping out of solo cups, right?
yes.
Thank you, Chase. I'm glad you finally let him in.
I hope Shane's doing okay out there.
I think Chase finally woke up to let Bentley out and let him in.
Well, you know, Shane's a good guy.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck though. You drive all the way from Philly. I think Chase is in Maryland, right? Just to get there and be like, all right, I gotta sleep in my car tonight. Like,
I mean, Philly to Maryland isn't that far, just for the record.
Well,
but...
the funny part is like not probably an hour prior we were
Virginia, a little further.
Yeah,
okay.
Virginia Beach.
Oh, much further. Much further.
The game
Never
has
mind.
changed now.
So
you're only making it worse at that point, Chase.
Yeah.
smoked a cigarette and made it back in. So what difference between the first time and the time he locked himself out? Who knows?
Let's talk about the thing that's most important here. Smoking kills, and now it's been proven even further.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Chase, how did he lock himself out? Either tell me here or text me, because now I need to know.
I just say it in the chat, I guess, would be, the number one spot, considering he has sent 4 messages in the chat. I'd like to be kept in
I
the
say
loop.
everyone kind of wants to know.
Yeah, everyone wants to know. I guarantee you everyone wants to know how Shane is doing and if he's alive, essentially. He locked the sliding glass door before going outside. See, rookie mistake there, Shane.
There you go.
Well, and that's what I said to him. I was like, you probably inadvertently locked it just out of habit, turned the knob, whatever. Well, the problem was his wallet was upstairs, so it's not like he could even go to a hotel, some cheap hotel. He had his car keys, luckily, so he could get in his car, but that's it.
Why?
God, that would have sucked if he didn't have his car keys on him.
Yeah.
Oof.
Because I guess Chase has this like bench in his backyard, and Shane was like, I was looking at that bench and was like, well, I guess this is where I'm sleeping tonight.
This is home now.
Tough for Shane. Tough for Shane.
Rough night.
Very tough.
Too.
Very tough.
But Shane kept me company for like 4.5 hours.
There you
so
go. He had nothing else to do.
there.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's either keep you company and freeze to death or just freeze to death. So
Yeah.
I guess he utilized his time somewhat
Actually,
well.
the shortest amount of our conversation was post lockout. So,
Oh, wow.
so how is everybody?
So good.
It's
Extremely
another
tired.
day. I'm ready to get smacked in one of my
Gosh.
leagues this week, but
I don't want to hear about being tired.
I worked a double yesterday. All right, I'm still waking up.
I worked a 0 yesterday. Because I'm a
Same.
stay-at-home
Fuck
dad,
you.
and I do fantasy
Same.
football for a living.
I had a tough day yesterday. I played video games.
Yeah.
Really tiring on the eyes.
Couple of Warzone wins.
Oh, I don't win at Warzone. No, definitely do not win at Warzone.
I was talking about my day, but
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear that.
my specialty actually is getting 10 to 15 resurrections in Warzone and getting like 3 kills. That's my specialty, and dying like as the 15th team left.
I'm the strategy guy. I point, my buddy shoots.
Well, here's the thing. Before we get into these injuries, I am more than likely the only sober one on the squad.
Ooh.
So it's, 3 high idiots in me trying to call out things. Oh, God. Yeah. And I'm never the one driving the helicopter. So it's not good. I know these two jamokes upstairs have no clue what
nobody
we're
knows what
talking
we're talking
about. It's
about.
all right. The basement boys are having their own conversation down
The
there.
basement. I love that you just called us jamokes. That's one of my
Yeah,
favorite things
jamokes.
that you
Isn't that
say.
like an 80s thing to say or something?
I don't know.
My dad said
It's
jamokes.
well before your time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's a given. Considering
Although most
how-
things are well before your time. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
makes
I
sense.
mean, 98. Yeah, zillennials is the stupid word they call us
Zillennials.
because we're in between Gen Z and millennials, so we're zillennials.
I
For
love
the
it.
record, I don't want to be associated with either, so I guess I'm okay with it. All right, let's dive. Actually, Faith, you have to toss it to me, or else you get mad. Go ahead.
There you go.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Also, good morning,
Joe.
Sean.
So we know how y'all week went. Tell us how it went for some of the people in the NFL, Joe.
Oh, well, George Kittle had a great week. He's returning from IR, but probably not going to play this week in week 15. So if you make it to the championship, who knows? May see the best tight end in football play in week 16 for the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm going to interrupt right now. Do you start him? Yes or no?
No.
Assuming you don't have Waller or Kelsey.
No.
I wouldn't
No.
trust him.
Yeah.
I don't even know who San Francisco plays, but I don't even think it would matter.
I don't
honestly.
care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not starting him.
Not
no-
with Nick Mullins. God no.
Good point.
Again, Nick Mullins and Jimmy Garoppolo are the same person, so I don't. You're at. It doesn't matter who's a quarterback. I'm still not starting him.
I will say the one thing I do know is Nick Mullins loves throwing to Brandon Ayuk.
Yep.
There you go.
often.
So start Brandon Ayuk. There you are.
There you go. wanted
No
to throw it
word
out
yet on Rojo, broken finger, COVID IR. He's probably not going to play. But the Bucs haven't announced anything, and everything is on track for Marquise Brown to come off the COVID IR list tomorrow. Questionable. We're back to a page of injuries, ladies
It
and
was
gentlemen.
big.
Welcome back. Just another normal week
bound to
here in the NFL. Questionable. Matt Stafford, Daniel Jones, who is most likely not playing. I think Colt McCoy has already been announced as starter, if I'm not
I missed
mistaken.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure McCoy's already been announced as starter.
Yeah, I think Jones. I got a notification yesterday. I think he was trending towards doubtful or something.
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
He's most likely not playing. Again, you're not starting him, but
Yeah.
for Giants fans out there, rejoice because Daniel Jones isn't playing a football game. Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay, Ezekiel Elliott, Alexander Madison, Damian Harris, James White, Salvin Ahmed, Chase Edmonds, Duke Johnson. Just a few guys you may have in your fantasy semifinals. Adding to that list, DeAndre Hopkins, Jamison Crowder, Curtis Samuel, Jimmy Graham, Mike Gesicki, Austin Hooper, and Evan Ingram. Doubtful, McCaffrey and Antonio Gibson. Those guys are probably not playing. Out. Alex Smith, Julio Jones, Kenny Golladay. He won't see the field again in 2020. Debo Samuel, Michael Thomas, Kyle Rudolph, Brandon McManus, and Zane Gonzalez. I love that we added kickers on there.
I will never not put kickers on there while you're on this show, Joe.
I absolutely
Did you
love it.
guys see his tweets from earlier in the week?
No.
No.
Oh my God, when he missed those
Oh,
kicks
yes,
last week,
yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shout out
He's
McManus.
calling
He's
himself
funny.
out. That was great.
Yeah.
Shout
I'm
out
driving
McManus.
home from Lawrence, and this jamoke over here is like,
Don't steal
watching-
my word.
I'm gonna
Over
steal
there.
your word over there.
There you go.
Like, it's sitting in the passenger seat watching football, just totally whatever. And then all of a sudden, he starts busting out laughing. I'm like,
Yeah, Josh loves to do that and not tell anybody what he's laughing at. Loves to
I'm like-
do it.
"What are you laughing at?" So then he goes, "I'm like, I am driving. You want me to read this?"
It's weird that he showed you the back of his phone
Yeah.
instead of the front. That was really confusing.
Well,
Weird that he showed you the back of his phone.
Two-sided phone display.
it's just how
Yeah.
I picked it up.
Oh.
And so he's like, Brandon McManus just tweeted, Brandon McManus really sucked today.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Also, as we get some more questions in here, I do want to play a fun little game that I talked about with the guys before we came on here. So I saw something posted, I believe it was retweeted by a friend of the show, Sam Holt, who's been on with us a couple of times here, once on the Start Sit show here on Saturday mornings. And she had retweeted something from Michael Hoff, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing the last name incorrectly, but he's at the FF Realist. He posted something saying, build your rookie offense with a $15 budget, you have to choose a quarterback, a running back, 2 receivers, and an offensive line. People listening, people watching, play along with the game because I'm going to share my screen here so all you guys can
follow
see.
Michael too. Great fantasy football follow.
Yes, awesome follow. So you can check this out here, guys, if you want to look at what's happening. Type it into the chat how you would build your rookie offense with a $15 budget. I'll let everyone, we'll just go one by one here and give your reasoning. I'll go last because I'm obviously introducing this. Josh, I'll start with you just because you're at the top.
So I started with Burrow. I know he's hurt, but when he wasn't, he was great.
This is assuming everyone's healthy and you're good to go.
Yeah. So Burrow, Jonathan Taylor, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Reagor, homer pick,
Of course.
and Mekhi Becton.
I just like Robert Downey Jr. in the bottom right hand corner.
Yeah. Ever since Joe has put that on the screen, it catches my eye every single time.
So I'm gonna scroll out of it.
There we go.
Aw.
Sorry, RDJ. Faith, would
I
you
thought
like...
about going with Higgins at some point, but I was like, well, if I go Higgins, then I gotta probably go Ruggs, and I don't want to touch Ruggs on this team. So
There you go.
Faith, would you like to join in here? I know I let these guys look at the sheet beforehand. I know this is on the spot, but if you would like to join in, go ahead.
I'll go last.
Okay. Mr. Wheezy Weiss.
So without question, I've been touting this guy all season. Justin Herbert has to be my quarterback, and then Jonathan Taylor has to be my running back. So me and Josh talked about this when you first showed the list. I wanted to get Ayuk in the lineup, so I'm going to throw Herbert, Taylor, Ayuk. Pittman, I think, pairs well with Ayuk because one can do everything and the other can go for deep. And then because I only have $1 left, welcome to the team. Is it Anthony Thomas? I don't even know.
Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas.
The top offensive lineman this year and the worst by far. So
Hey,
Welcome
right.
to
you're
the
going to
team.
get Herbert killed.
Justin Herbert can run. I'm not worried about it. He showed
Welcome
us
to
that.
the team. Well, Justin Herbert's offensive line is essentially 5 Andrew Thomases.
There we go. That's what I'm saying.
He's
And
fine.
he is putting in that work. Welcome to
he's-
the team, whatever the fuck your name is. You cost
Andrew,
$1.
Andrew Thomas, the left tackle out of Georgia, right tackle?
He was supposed to be their left tackle, but I
think
can't remember his first name. But Pert, the guy they got in the
Yeah.
third round, has actually been playing better than him this year.
Yeah. Okay. So my guys, Joe Burrow, he is a stud. I was gonna go Cam Akers to buy up for a $4 receiver, but I'm like, Claypool and Ayuk don't truly excite me. So I ended up going with here, Jonathan Taylor, Jerry Jeudy, and T. Higgins. Everyone knows the love for JT, Jeudy, and Higgins, 2 of the smoothest route runners, and I think T. Higgins is going to be a star. And then I took Onwenu just because I've seen him play the most this year, and he has his ups and downs, but for a 6th round draft pick, he's been a great right tackle in that offense. So I'll go Onwenu in that instance. Yeah. Faith, there you go. Wrap it up, and then we'll get to these questions.
Look at that. We all each have our own homer pick. I like it.
Speaking of homer picks, I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to go DeAndre Swift.
Okay.
Dogs in the NFL.
If you want to go dogs in the NFL, take Andrew Thomas too. I heard he's great.
Take Anthony Thomas.
Sorry, go ahead, DeAndre. I just had to throw that in there because you said dogs in the NFL, so I was like, all right, let's go Andrew Thomas. Okay, DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift. So I would probably go Brandon Ayuk just for kicks and giggles.
There you go. $10 left.
Burrow.
Okay, 6.
I don't even know who I picked.
just
You
gotta
have
do the last two
Burrow,
columns now
Swift,
with
and Ayuk.
$6.
So you need
Yep.
one more receiver and one more and an offensive lineman.
We'll go
Do it.
Jeudy and Becton.
All right.
Judy and you are over budget.
No.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Nope,
No,
nope.
you are not.
Yeah,
To-
that's right.
fuck
You told
quick
me
math.
6. 3 times 2 is 6, Joe.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry,
Boom.
my bad.
I mean,
That's on
we
me.
all know I hate numbers, and even I know that.
I don't hate numbers. I hate stupid analytics.
I said I hate numbers.
Yeah, we have fuck numbers. Okay, here we go. Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Regularly.
Fuck it. Just start with the questions. Oh, God.
Take over, Faith.
Gallman or CEH, half point PPR.
I'm not touching CEH this
Yeah,
week.
no chance in the world CEH finds my playoff lineup.
Galliman.
Yes. Let's just butcher names today.
Yeah, Galliman.
Don't we do that every week?
Anthony Thomas. Anthony Thomas, actually.
William Galliman.
Anthony Thomas. He went back to college, gained a few 100 pounds, and started playing tackle in the NFL.
No, Gallman for sure.
Yeah, Gallman.
And let's not forget, Atlanta's run defense is better than people give it credit for. So,
Foyoluakan, baby.
just saying.
Atlanta has nothing to do with that. CH is playing New Orleans.
Wait, I'm looking at Week 16 schedule. Shit.
Ha,
When we were talking about the Niners, probably.
Moron.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I was like, wait, I thought they were playing New Orleans this week. Where did that come from?
I'm Josh, man.
Even worse.
Sean?
Sean needs a wide receiver and 2 flex PPR in a PPR. Juju, T.Y. Hilton, Tyler Lockett, Jeff Wilson Jr., Raheem Mostert, J.D. McKissick. So pick 3 of 6.
Hilton, Mostert, McKissick. T.Y. Hilton to the moon this week.
Yeah,
To the
T.Y.
moon.
absolutely.
To the moon.
I think he is your must start of this group.
It's
No.
Houston.
For sure. I am not starting Mostert just because of the injury concerns and everything along those lines. I would start Wilson over Mostert. He's been handling the goal line work. So yeah, let's put Hilton in at wide receiver, and then I would probably, with Dwayne Haskins back, I'm actually worried about McKissick. I would actually just stick with the wide receivers in this situation. I'd go Juju, Lockett, and Hilton.
Okay.
I am very tempted by Mostert just because,
They said he's good to go.
yeah, like Dallas is very susceptible to the run. We know this, and I think that's
Yeah.
why a lot of people are on Wilson. But Mostert doesn't need the goal line carries to be productive in this offense.
If
And
he's
this is
good
a
to go,
matchup
we know he can break a 70-yarder.
Yeah.
That's true. So
So I think that Hilton is a must for me. I would lean Mostert here. If you want the touchdown upside, I guess Wilson. But it just kind of, I don't know. I feel like people are all over Wilson this week, and it's going to absolutely backfire. Absolutely backfire. So I would probably lean Juju, but I don't really.
I will say,
I don't feel great about Juju.
we never get to the show doc questions. At least I think 7 of them are about Jeff Wilson. Biggest question by far this week. is
Well,
Jeff
because
Wilson.
again, everybody's talking him up. So everybody's like, all right, now I'm thinking about this guy. And I've been a big proponent of Jeff Wilson because every time he plays, it's touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Like that's
Wilson's
what he
great.
does. He scores touchdowns. But again, like this is a matchup that Mostert can absolutely dominate without seeing a single red zone carry.
Yeah.
Single one. So
Mostert. Yeah. The only reason I'm saying Mostert because they said he's good to go.
I'll be honest, I missed that he was good to go. I'm fine with Mostert in that situation. So Hilton and Mostert, and then it's almost a dart throw for your third one. I would stay away from McKissick with Haskins, though. So
Yeah, that
Okay,
worries me. I'm
so-
still on that, though.
I'm going to sneak in here and ask a
Okay.
question of my own.
No.
yes.
there are people waiting, Faith.
One very important thing, though, if we're playing each other next week, you can't ask any questions to
That's
anybody.
fine. Oh, I will ask.
I was gonna
them.
say I've got
Just
some
not
matchup
you.
questions in my lineup with Ryan now that Michael Thomas is out. That
Yeah, I bet that's created some issues.
Oh, Michael Thomas is out again.
Good thing.
What else is
Good
new?
thing Justin Herbert
Okay.
didn't go off or anything.
Thank God
I
people spend
asked you
first round
Wednesday,
picks on
and
receivers.
you guys all differed, and so I said I'd ask you again today, but I
All
added a name.
I already forgot
So-
the question, so let's do it.
I do as well.
Ertz, Higbee, Hurst, or Irv Smith?
Oh,
I
do
think,
remember this question.
I think
now,
I said Higbee.
I'm all about Higbee in just about any streaming option. And what's funny is he didn't make my stream of the week only because he could also hit a 0, but he could hit 3 touchdowns. And so Higbee. I might even go back in and edit the stream of the week article and have to throw Higbee in there as a one.
Well, I was gonna say, wasn't Irv Smith on your stream list?
Oh, I think every other guy she named was except for Ertz.
Yeah.
Which
Cooter's all
Ertz is
about
somebody that I like this week, and I'm fully prepared for
That's
that
what
to
it was.
backfire.
Oh, yeah. So don't listen to the homer. Is the real moral of the story here?
Are you favored or not favored? That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, did you play against somebody who had Herbert, had Waller? Like, if
Or
that's
has
the case,
Derrick
then I
Henry.
would go
So
boom or bust and start Higbee, no question. But
Hig bad.
I'm playing against Hunter Henry,
Okay.
Who had a good week.
17 and a half.
Yep.
Higbee's going to get you 8 points, and you'll be fine. He's going to get you 8, or he's going to score 3 touchdowns.
He's either going to get 0, 8, 21, or 33.
I don't think he
Dude,
gets
if those
0.
are the freaking lotto numbers this week, right?
I don't think he gets 0. I truly think he gets his 3 or 4 catches
You
for 40
cannot
something
convince
yards.
me he is not possible to get a 0 because Everett is matching him. I mean, not by snaps.
Yeah, they're
but by
basically
targets.
matching,
So,
like,
yeah.
they're like 52 to 48 in snap percentage.
I'm playing Stoner, and I need to win.
Does he have Derrick Henry?
No.
Go Higbee.
Okay.
Stoner's got a loaded lineup. In
I
that
say
league.
Derrick
He does.
Henry.
Yeah.
Everybody who's playing Derrick Henry this week needs to be very afraid, and they need to swing big because the
Yeah.
best running back in
Thanks,
football
Ryan.
is playing the worst run defense in football. It's
Ryan,
going to be bad.
Please stop reminding me, okay? Please stop reminding me. All
I
right?
take it you're playing that, Joe.
Yeah, oh, God. All right, quickly, before we get to these other questions. The team I am playing
Are we
has
doing
Aaron
all-
Rodgers, Derrick
Am I
Henry,
thinking
Tyreek Hill,
that-
T.Y. Hilton, Kareem Hunt, and Alvin Kamara.
Ooh.
Goodbye, championship hopes. I'll see you next year.
Henry and Kamara are my 1 and 2 running backs this week.
And I already told my buddy, I'm like, congratulations on making the championship and winning your money back at the least. Because if
Well,
I
especially
beat,
now with Breeze back, Kamara.
I literally so Kamara actually leapfrogged Henry, which is saying something. With Breeze back and Michael Thomas out, Kamara's to the moon this week.
keep
All
in
right,
mind,
Joe's playoff.
Yeah.
keep in mind, I still have JT, Devontae Adams, Baker, Calvin Ridley, McLaurin, and Metcalf. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah, you
put
got
up
a
a
good
fight.
team. Yep.
But there's no Derrick Henry's about to drop 70 points
Yeah.
on the Lions, and
As
I'm not
weird as
ready
it
for
sounds, Tyler Higbee is my Derrick Henry counter this week because I think he could score 3 touchdowns. I really do. So
All right.
Higbee, let's go, Sean.
In the lineup. La-da-da-da. All right, Sean, same league. He Jared Cook or pick up Irv Smith. He hates trusting Cook, but Chiefs have been bad against the tight end last month, and with Michael Thomas out, he figured there's more targets for Cook going against Kamara.
Jared Cook, Breeze is on the lineup.
Yeah, with Breeze in the lineup, I would trust Cook more.
I still like Irv Smith, but would also go Cook.
Allen or LJ?
Lamar.
Love Josh Allen. You cannot bench Lamar Jackson right now, and unfortunately, he is going to cost me a win in a league, but he is going to feast this week.
Lamar.
Yeah, I think you could definitely got to go Lamar Jackson. I mean, that's a good problem to have, though. I mean,
Yep.
both those guys.
They're
but
both
it's-
going to be top 5 guys this week.
Yeah, they're both going to rake this week. I mean,
Yeah, you're going to be happy either way. But Lamar Jackson against Jacksonville. Yep. K. Trilla, Sanders or Akers? I think this is a general consensus here. Akers.
Yeah, Cam Akers.
yeah, I would trust Akers.
Yeah,
I mean,
that-
it's the fucking Jets. Man.
It's
Like,
the
come
goddamn
on.
Jets. Shout out Robbie.
I don't hate Sanders this week. Let me put it
No, I
that
don't
way.
either.
But I think
Akers.
with Sanders, you're banking more so on the big playability because he's not going to approach 25 carries the way that Cam Akers will. So,
I just checked my projections. They're 9 and 10, but Akers has him by 1 spot. So
Yeah. Cam Akers,
Um,
baby.
Steely just wanted to say sup.
Sup?
what's
up,
up,
brother?
Steely?
Sup? Steelers lost last week, right? Just quick stuff.
You're a dick.
oh Jesus, Joe, we're going down that rabbit hole. Come on, man.
That's right, Steely. They should win this week.
McSweet. Oh, standard. He's writing off of waivers for QB and wants to know if you should start Mitchell Trubisky or Jalen Hurts.
Mitch Trubisky.
The biscuit.
It's standard. I wouldn't bat an eye towards Hurts.
The fuck does standard matter for quarterback?
Yeah, what does it matter for quarterbacks?
Because you're talking 4 points per touchdown.
Oh.
Yeah, but how do we know if that's the case?
I mean, if it's standard,
You
that
could be
would
in
be
a-
my assumption with
Oh,
You
okay.
could be
No,
in a
that's not
standard
getting
league
it.
and have 6-point
I
passing
understand what you're-
touchdowns.
Okay, but I at least understand.
That's
Josh's
not standard,
connection.
though.
No, I understand Josh's point. It's just stupid. Like, we don't know all the
No,
information.
I'm not saying it's not stupid.
It's
I'm
just
just
stupid.
saying that's standard.
Yeah, but Josh is stupid.
So my projections for Fantasy Pros are actually done with 4-point touchdowns, and I think I still have Mitch. Let's see here.
I'm still going the biscuit because Trubisky can still run. Like,
Okay, to be fair, I only have him 1 point ahead of Hurts. So
Trubisky, baby. And
I don't know.
you're-
I think I'm down on Hurts this week. I am, but I also know the competitor that he is going against the guy he succeeded in Oklahoma.
yeah,
I think he's probably going to throw a little bit more. I don't think we're going to see 100 rushing yards, but knowing how much Kyler runs, I think Hurts might challenge that. I think it's closer than Joe is making it out to
I
be.
added
It
Hurts
is.
a lot for Week 16 in leagues where I'm streaming, but there's only one league I'm playing him in. Weirdest league I'm in, you get half a point per carry, and I was
Yeah.
like, Jalen Hurts to the moon,
Oh,
baby.
absolutely. Absolutely.
give me 1 second.
I mean, this is against Minnesota. Their pass defense has been better of late.
It's
It really
not
has.
against. It's not
Yeah.
against Minnesota.
Chicago plays Minnesota.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Thought we were
yeah.
talking Hurts.
No,
Hurts.
no.
That's my bad. Thought we were talking Hurts. Real quick before we move on here, because the Eagles are going into Philadelphia, into Arizona.
Correct.
Bet the Eagles on the money line and the spread because Arizona loves to fuck people when they're at home.
This is
So light them up. Light them up. I don't know what it is against the analytics. I'm actually looking right
I don't
now.
know. DeAndre Hopkins is going to go bonkers.
Philly
Yeah,
is
all I know.
Philly does have a 53% chance probability to cover. So it isn't against the analytics, but even before looking at it, all on
get-
board Philly.
Get DeAndre Hopkins into any cash DFS
Yeah.
lineup you can do.
Absolutely.
McSweet's
Cash.
next question.
Money.
Yeah, I think this is consensus as well here on this one. JT.
Jonathan Taylor, Robbie Anderson.
JT
Jonathan
to the moon.
Taylor to the moon.
JT to the
right.
moon, baby.
He
Yep.
gets my
Of
And
the
Mars.
moon. Cole Beasley or Robbie Anderson in a PPR.
That's a good question.
Who does
That is
Buffalo
fair.
play?
Buffalo's in Denver.
Yeah.
Beefalo.
Oh, Beasley.
Today, by the way.
Yeah.
Both
Oh, they're
games are
both
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, both are
Beasley.
today.
Beasley.
Yeah, I imagine
Yeah.
Robbie sees Jair, so
Yeah, I'm on board
Beasley.
the Beasley train. Usually, when he has a down week, he tends to bounce back big. He was down last week, so
and no John Brown again, so plenty of
Yeah.
work to go around.
Yep.
yep, definitely.
Oh, and
Beasley.
it's Josh Allen and thin air. So
Oh yeah. My
and
favorite.
it's also PPR.
that
yeah.
might come up again later on in the show.
yeah.
Yeah, standard. Jared Goff or Ryan Tannehill.
Tannehill is just more trustworthy, so go Ryan Tannehill.
Tannehill's definitely the safer play, but if you need the upside, go Goff.
Devil?
Josh, you have the demon. I'm not allowed to say the name of the person who I would recommend because I've sworn off of him. So all I will say is not Ryan Tannehill.
That's your. I feel like that's an Ohio State thing. I'm not saying
no,
the
it's
M.
he
No,
fucks me
just like the whole
Oh
thing.
yeah. That's
The
exactly
Michigan thing.
right. Yep.
Right. There's a reason Ryan's sworn him off. It's because he fucks you over every time you put him
Yeah.
in your lineup. So Ryan Tannehill.
He who must not be named.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill.
Lord Voldemort.
Yep.
Ryan Tannehill.
Say his name. Get it, Minerva. All right.
I know what you're saying.
Oh no, I know. Lee is playing against a juggernaut and needs the biggest upside. Floor doesn't matter. He's playing from behind. Pick 2. Miles Sanders, Cam Akers, Ezekiel Elliott, David Montgomery, Raheem Mostert, or James Conner.
Monty and Akers. Both 100 yards and at least 2 touchdowns.
If I'm playing ceiling, I'm going Sanders and Akers.
Yeah, I think that's probably where I would go. Sanders and Akers. Monty, I definitely agree, has the The higher
Montgomery
floor.
has been fire the last 3 weeks.
Oh, you're not
He's
telling me.
literally burning on the field.
Yeah, I'm looking at Minnesota's points per game allowed to running backs.
A lot.
Actually, let's see where they at. They're middle of the road. They're only
Monty's
22.
best weeks compare to what Sanders did last week? Because I feel like what Sanders did last week could be, I don't want to say expected. That's a little presumptuous.
Sanders has to hit a big play. He has to hit a big play.
I agree, and that's what we're looking for here is maximum upside.
No, and I understand that.
You know,
But Montgomery is going to get less carries and more yards and is going to find the end zone.
So to Joe's point, Montgomery's last 3 weeks are 26, 27, 25, and Sanders hit 30 last week. So Montgomery's floor right now is Sanders' ceiling.
Like that's my point. Is Montgomery has played terrible.
yeah, but
run
look
defense.
at those run defenses though. Like,
Yeah,
they're the 3 worst in the NFL.
they really are.
Minnesota's not that.
Minnesota allowed 100 yards to Ezekiel Elliott, who only has one 100-yard game this year.
And what week was that?
That was 4 weeks ago.
I'm going to stick with my answer. Sanders and Akers.
I mean,
Good.
Akers is the gimme in this situation. I'd even argue Mostert, honestly.
I wouldn't.
Feeling, I mean,
Zeke has seen 100 yards once this year. It was week 11 against Minnesota in Minnesota. Arguably the worst of the first-round running backs that have been healthy. Zeke, 100 yards against Minnesota. Montgomery to the moon. No doubt. You're gonna bench the hottest running back in the NFL in fantasy football right now. Top 2 running back the last 3 weeks. Ryan just gave you the numbers.
He's not benching Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor.
here's what I know. We can all agree on Cam Akers.
Yep.
We're all
Correct.
pretty split on Sanders and Montgomery. I still think Sanders has a higher ceiling, but again, it's no argument that Montgomery has a higher floor. So take that for what you
eyeliner in
want.
the corner of your eye.
No. I have long eyelashes. I get those in my eye all the time.
Oh.
Same.
Yeah, Josh's eyelashes are ridiculous. I hate him.
So
I'm like, really?
So Lee, before last week, Miles Sanders played Green Bay and then Seattle. Combined, he had 8 points.
With
Yeah,
Dak,
Green Bay.
Carson
Who was the
Wentz.
quarterback? How many rushes did he have? Like, that's not on him. That's play calling, dude.
He had 10 attempts for 31 yards against the Green Bay Packers. David Montgomery had 11 attempts for over 100 yards in a touchdown against the Green Bay Packers. So I'm just going to scream it to the moon. Miles Sanders needs an 80-yard touchdown to make his day, or he does nothing. So if you want to bank on the 80-yard touchdown, go nuts.
College offense. Option. Jalen Hurts. Just as Buddha Baker smashes Jalen Hurts. Pitches ball. Miles Sanders. Oh my God. Wide open field. Nobody can catch him. Touchdown.
I'm saying, you're basically talking about 2 different offenses, Joe. Green Bay was one offense. Now they're playing a completely different offense with Jalen Hurts. So
I don't care. He's not outrunning Buda Baker. Miles Sanders looks like he's dragging an anchor when he gets into the open field.
If Miles Sanders scores a touchdown on an option play this week, I'm going to put my Cash App out and you all have to send me $1.
on a speed option play or on a read option play? Because you were describing a speed option.
Why
Yeah,
am
speed
I
option.
getting roped into this?
All right, if Miles Sanders scores in at least a 50-yard touchdown at a speed option play, I'll send you $5. Like
Boom.
There's internet.
there's no way it happens. Like there's no way. Miles Sanders is going to score a rushing touchdown on a random halfback dive because the defense forgets what football is for a play.
you
That's what
forget they
happens.
have the ultimate touchdown vulture in Jordan Howard active. Miles Sanders isn't scoring inside the 5.
Nope. 80-yard speed.
Yes,
option.
again, it's 80 yards or nothing for Miles
Exactly.
Sanders.
Buda Baker tackles Jalen Hurts so he can't catch up. He
That's
just
all I'm
misses
saying.
him, though.
So, Lee, if you want to win, go Cam Akers and David Montgomery. If you want to lose,
Let's get to the next damn question.
okay.
The next question is, Ryan, have you watched The Mandalorian?
Oh my God, so good. So freaking good.
No spoilers,
Yeah,
but let's move on.
Yeah.
Josh cried.
I was in
Ooh.
tears this morning. I don't watch it. Next question.
I know you don't watch it. I was like, wait a second.
In tears this morning, seeing all the people on Twitter.
Half PPR, Kiki, Pittman, Boyd. And then we'll start with there, and then we'll take the second half of that question.
Pittman.
Yeah, I'd go Pittman as well. Great ceiling.
You?
To me, this is between Kiki and Pittman. With Cooks playing,
Kiki, do you like
I like Kiki against Indy because
And that's what I've been telling a lot of people is
Yeah.
Cooks has to play.
I don't know. I think they're just going to run it and they're going to throw to Hilton. So I think Pittman's upside is really limited. I agree with the floor. It's safer, but I think the best combo of the two is Kiki.
It's fair.
And then the back half of that question for tight end, Cole Kmet or Irv Smith.
So Rudolph is already out. I
Rudolph
heard
the red-nosed
Graham might
reindeer.
miss the game. If Graham misses, give me Komet. If Graham doesn't miss, give me Irv.
Yeah, that's where I would go to.
Fighting Irish to the moon. Cole
There you
Kmet.
go.
Speaking about the Fighting Irish, did you hear, like, if they win today, they would go to the Rose Bowl, but their coach said that because parents aren't allowed at the Rose Bowl, they
Yeah, I
wouldn't
did read
play.
that.
I was like, I mean,
They're
I
one
get
of the
it, but that's
few-
like,
They're
That's-
one of the few programs that can flex those muscles because
Yeah.
they have their own frickin' TV contract.
Yep.
oh, wow.
Yeah. Like,
Well,
they
Catholic
don't
school-
need that. Like, any other team program would be like, oh, we need the exposure, we need the money from sponsors, et cetera, et cetera. Notre Dame doesn't need that shit.
Nope.
So, yeah.
It's a private school.
I'll say,
They're making that big money.
they got that Jesus
They-
money.
They also don't want to be. They also don't want to be embarrassed like they normally are in bowl games. So
Also fair.
All right, standard. Pick one. Robbie Anderson, AJ Brown, Cole Beasley, Deontay Johnson, or Corey Davis. Are you okay there, Ryan?
AJ Brown.
AJ
Brown
Brown.
shouldn't be on this list.
AJ
Okay.
Brown.
Yeah.
Well then.
AJ Brown.
Or Ayuk.
AJ Brown.
Ooh.
Oh, you bastard! It's a standard. It's a standard. Give me AJ Brown.
Ayuk's their only option.
I
Debo
know.
might miss. Kittle's out. Good lord.
No, Debo's out.
Oh, so he's like out,
For-
out? Okay, yeah,
for-
like shit.
For what it's worth, the Cowboys should get Trayvon Diggs back this week.
That means shit to me.
Oh, okay. Then Brandon
Um,
Ayuk. I'll go Brandon Ayuk there as well.
I'll go Tannehill over Nick Mullins.
Speaking of Tannehill,
Right now, I would go Mullins because all Tannehill has to do is hand it to Derrick Henry.
speaking of Tannehill, is it bad that Herbert is on the bench for Tannehill?
It
Yes.
ain't great.
Oh,
Yes.
BD, I feel like you DM me. You got to get at me on questions like this. You don't bench
Yes.
Justin Herbert, brother.
Yes. Well, you can bench Justin Herbert when he plays the Patriots, like I
Yeah,
smartly
apparently.
said. But you never bench Justin Herbert for a former Texas A&M wide receiver. That's just rules.
Ooh.
All right, hey, let's not bust your balls. Swing big on your other spots.
Yeah.
If you start defense in this league, Patriots defenses out there in a bunch of leagues, they're a big swing. And then we've already talked about this. Tyler Higbee is a big swing. So maybe look to pivot at those positions.
For the record, Tannehill should get it still 20 points.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
should
doesn't
still
have
do
a,
okay.
yeah, he doesn't have a bad floor by any
Oh, yeah,
means.
that's
He
a good
just
point.
doesn't have.
You're not playing against Herbert. I'm saying if you're playing against Herbert, never mind. You don't have to swing big. Unless
Yeah,
you're playing
no,
against
it's.
Derrick
I mean,
Henry.
Herbert probably put up.
Ignore everything Ryan just said, apparently.
I mean, those guys are good plays unless you have better ones.
Was Ryan talking?
I'm trying to hold on. I'm trying to see what did Herbert do? He did 32 points. I honestly I think Tannehill could put up 20, and he's not in the same technical conversation as Herbert, but Tannehill's going to be a starting quarterback this week. Lions suck.
All right. So, FF Montreal.
I love the profile picture every time I see it. ESPN 8 the Ocho. Every time I see it.
Half PPR, sit one. McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, or Hunt. He started McLaurin over Hunt last week and somehow survived Derrick Henry.
Kudos to you,
Congratulations
man.
there.
Shit.
Deontay Johnson, he forgot what catching is.
I think it goes the other way with Johnson. I think Ben tries to build trust back up in him, so I'm still benching Hunt.
Yeah, I mean, half PPR, I typically lean running backs. God damn, that's close.
Ryan, you just said Hunt was your RB2 this week.
I didn't.
You said Henry. You had Henry and Hunt. Or did you say Henry and Kamara were one
It
of
was
them?
Kamara,
Henry and
yeah.
Kamara.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Kamara took number 1 from Henry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Honestly, they're all 3 good options. I mean, with Haskins coming back, I think maybe him and McLaurin can kind of pick up where they left off. But
Yeah.
this is a
That's the
big
hope.
Terry McLaurin week.
oh, shit, that is really close. I think I would have them McLaurin, Hunt, Deontay, but they're all kind of like smushed together.
What?
He would put Deontay last.
Ah.
Actually, I just checked my projections. I have Deontay
Or Josh
pretty
is just
firmly
creating
last.
a human centipede of those three.
I say we bench Deontay.
Yeah, which hurts me to say.
Bench Deontay Johnson. He can't catch the football.
We all agree.
Seattle's pass defense has been better,
Excuse
but
me.
they've got to get McLaurin
Bless
going.
you,
It's the
Joe.
only way they're going to
Thank
do
you.
anything this week.
When you all agree on something, it scares me. Just throwing that out there.
It should.
Gabe got called a homer last week for asking if he should start Baker over Ryan. Gabe is a Browns fan. So we started Ryan and it sucked. So this week it's Baker easily, right?
Yes.
I can't imagine we called you a homer, but if we did, sorry.
It definitely was not us.
I was gonna say because I don't think I knew he was from the Cleveland.
Yeah.
area.
No. I mean, at
To be
least
fair,
on-
I did. But
I did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, Gabe.
I'm not saying I called him a homer, but I knew he was
Oh,
from the Cleveland
okay. I
area.
thought you were the one who called it. I was like, you
Oh.
dick.
Oh.
Like-
Say, Gabe.
If I
Gabe.
did, I would have said it jokingly. I get a lot of
Yeah.
homer crap from here. So
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, really, Josh? You of all people?
no, I
Okay,
love
boy,
Gabe. You kidding me?
Go, Joe. Joe, speak.
It's the fucking Giants.
It's
Like,
Baker.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield. Matt Ryan can't play football right now.
Has
Baker
no
Mayfield has
Julio.
been on fire. Roll with the hot hand.
Yeah,
Right.
and from
They
what
shut
I
down
gather,
Kirk Cousins.
Julio's out this week, correct?
Yep.
Julio is up.
Yeah, Matt Ryan without Julio Jones is terrible.
Oh, and Matt Ryan's going to get sacked 10 times.
Yeah, so absolutely with Baker
Nah,
this week.
you're fine to trust Baker on the road.
Yep.
Of Cleveland versus the New York Giants. Cleveland D against the Giants or the Washington football team against Seattle.
I'll
Football
yield to
team.
Ryan on this one.
Yeah, it's football team should be the play, and I know Seattle's scary. Cleveland probably has a little bit safer floor because Washington could blow up in your face, but Washington has a much higher ceiling.
Is Seattle scary, though?
The name Russell Wilson, the name
Yeah.
is scary, but
The clout that comes with it.
I agree, they're the play. Washington's the play.
I just, hold on, real quick. I want to look at, because
Cleveland can put up some sacks against that Giants offensive line.
Yeah, I heard Andrew Thomas or whatever. Anthony Thomas. Not
Andrew
good.
Thomas.
No bueno.
And again, we're talking about Colt McCoy as the starter. Like, if I had to take my, and again, I'm no expert
mean-
when it comes to
you mean
defenses. I yield
revenge
to you,
game.
Ryan, but
You mean revenge game, Colt McCoy?
oh, revenge game. Colt McCoy,
So if
Jesus.
you
He threw for 105 yards against Seattle. Like, let's be honest here. He's not doing shit against Cleveland.
My projections have
Cleveland has-
Washington. My projections have Washington 2 spots ahead. I would call Cleveland safer just because if Russ goes off, it's a problem.
Russell Wilson will be sacked 6+ times.
Mark
And
that
will
down.
fumble one of them, and one of them will be returned for a touchdown. Washington
All right.
football team.
6+ times.
Yeah,
Well,
write that
all
down,
right.
Faith.
So is it a single fumble that's returned for a touchdown, or is it 2 fumbles, one of them being returned for a touchdown?
There's going to be at least one fumble, and one of them will be returned for a touchdown. There's going to be a
Okay.
defensive touchdown in this game.
Russ does have 4 lost fumbles this year.
He threw an interception against the Jets last week because he underthrew DK Metcalf on a deep route. Look at what Buffalo did to him. How many times were they in the backfield in that game? And Buffalo's
Still-
pass rush is not that good.
Say it's still only 12 fantasy points.
So Russ has been sacked 5+ times, 3 times in the last 6 games.
Who are those teams?
Buffalo,
Okay.
Rams,
Okay.
and the Giants.
So you have one ridiculously good pass rush in the Rams. And
Which Russ always struggles in LA for whatever.
he does. He does. I would say Buffalo. I don't think Buffalo.
They can generate pressure.
They can, but it's not an overwhelming pass rush.
Yeah, it's not consistent.
The Giants. Leonard Williams has been a stud the second half of this year, so I'll give them Leonard Williams. But in reality, the Giants don't have a great pass rush. The Washington football team is the best pass rush in the NFL, not named the Pittsburgh Steelers. And even then, I'd probably put the football team ahead because the Steelers lost Bud Dupree.
Yeah.
6+ sacks in this game for the football team. They're that good.
Definitely possible.
I've been banging the drum on this front seven since last year. I am not wavering at this point. The football team will destroy them. Russ is going to have no time to throw the football. Metcalf will get his. Lockett will suck. Metcalf's going to get his. You don't need a quarterback to have a great week for the wide receiver to have a good week.
Correct.
So, Russ may only throw for 200 yards, but Metcalf's going to see at least 100 of them, and he probably finds the end zone. But Russ will turn the ball over at least twice.
Don't sleep on Cleveland.
No,
I
don't.
agree it's Washington.
Yeah, Cleveland's still a good defense, though. If you have Cleveland, don't feel bad. Cleveland's a good defense this week. Hunt. He's the only healthy one.
See, I don't know.
If Raheem Mostert came into this game
crazy time, so
if Raheem Mostert came into this game without a potential injury that would hinder him, I would go Raheem Mostert. But Kareem Hunt has been healthy.
He's just overall he's better with Nick Chubb in the lineup.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So and Nick Chubb is there, so I would lean Hunt.
Yep.
yeah.
All right. Sean was rewatching the Wednesday stream this morning. You guys were talking about how James Robinson is the floor play this week. He needs ceiling. Do you think Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr. or on waivers is Gus and Salvin Ahmed? I believe we said on Wednesday's show as well, Gus Edwards to the moon.
Gus has a big ceiling, and I think it's probably bigger than James Robinson's ceiling.
Yeah, Gus bus, baby. He's getting the goal line carries.
Yeah.
I know you love James Robinson, Josh, so that's going to be hard for you.
No, you're talking about Jags at this point. Like, I'm going to trust the guy that got me there. And I know the floor is still there, but he's still getting passing down usage, which that's going to keep his floor even higher at that point. So, and let's be real, Baltimore can be run on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cleveland showed that last week.
And Dingus, our buddy from up north, said it's always Gus Edwards. So there's another one in there from you, Sean. Always Gus Edwards. Following up from BDB's before we talked about he had Herbert on the bench and Ryan Tannehill in his lineup. He has Cam Akers, David Montgomery, and Devontae Adams in his lineup with Sanders in the flex. So you're good.
Yeah,
you should be
good.
be pretty safe there.
Yep.
All that arguing about Sanders and freaking Montgomery, and he's in the lineup anyway.
You got both of them, yeah.
Well, no, that
was
a different question. That was from Lee. That question was from Lee. So yeah, the three guys we were arguing about, Sanders, we had Akers as a consensus.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it was all three of them.
It was all three of them, and BDB has them all. So congratulations.
Nah, you're gonna be fine, man.
See you in the championship.
You don't need a big swing anywhere. Don't gamble if you don't have to.
Yeah, not at all. That's some great stuff right there. All right, while we wait for a couple more to come in, I have one because Mostert was obviously announced healthy.
Yeah.
I went up against Austin Eckler and Joey Bosa. They combined for 17 points, so it's not like I'm well out of the realm of things here. But I currently have Dalvin Cook, Miles Sanders, Metcalf, Darnell Mooney, and Robert Woods. Raheem Mostert over any of those guys. Because my options are really Raheem Mostert, DJ Moore, and maybe CeeDee Lamb, but I'm more so leaning Raheem Mostert would be my biggest guy to put in.
Who are we considering him over one more time?
Dalvin Cook, who's obviously a no. Okay, so the real guys you're only considering him over are Darnell Mooney or Miles Sanders. Because the other three guys are Metcalf, Woods, and Cook.
I'd go over Mooney.
So I am projected to lose. Not by much, but I am projected to lose. So I played Mooney with the upside thought, thinking he might find the end zone.
There is much upside, though.
Yeah, I mean, Mooney's a what?
It's Allen Robinson or bust in that passing offense.
I mean,
like
Mooney's
the targets have absolutely proved that the last 3 weeks or however long Trubisky's been back in the lineup.
Yeah, and that's the thing that scares me with Mooney. I love Mooney, but that's
I do too. I think he's going to be great when they get a new quarterback.
Yeah, that's the thing that scares me with him. So yeah, I was probably gonna lean Mostert instead of Mooney, but just wanted to get the consensus thought on that one. All right, Dave's over on YouTube today.
I was gonna say switching it up on us.
Switching it up.
Make sure you hit
Appreciate
that
Dave.
subscribe button, brother.
Yes, hit the subscription button there, Dave. No Frank Gore questions, but he has a RB2 or 2 are running backs and
No
2
Frank
flex.
Gore, get out of the chat. We don't want it.
Exactly.
We're not answering, Dave. All right, Ezekiel Elliott, Chris Carson, David Johnson. We'll start with those guys. 2 running backs. Who would you pick out of those? Zeke, Carson, and David Johnson. I'd probably go Zeke and
Carson and
reluctantly David Johnson.
Zeke.
Ooh,
I'm not
I'd
touching
go
David
Carson.
Johnson.
Did you answer all of the questions in between?
We did.
Oh, good for you guys. Proud of you.
Do I need to remind you who Seattle's playing one more time, or
His passing game usage will keep his floor safe. I'm not saying it's very high, but it's still better than David Johnson, who, by the way, goes against the Colts.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Carson nor David Johnson has a great matchup. I'm
If
just
Duke
saying.
Johnson were to miss, that
Oh, wait,
Well,
hold
at that
on.
point,
Hold on.
if
Wait,
you
time
both
out.
have a bad matchup, who are you going
Time
to
out.
take, Carson or
Time
David
out.
Johnson on a neutral site? Like,
Timeout. He didn't put them in order. Wayne Gallman is also an option. He's at the end. I would go Zeke and Wayne Gallman.
I would probably also go Zeke and Wayne Gallman.
Keep in mind, Zeke, Carson, and David Johnson all have bad matchups. All of them have bad matchups.
Zeke is just
Zeke's bad. Carson and David Johnson have bad matchups. I think the only hope for Zeke is it's a rivalry game and Jerry Jones might light a fire under their ass. Who knows? That's the only hope for Zeke. And it's at home. There will be 25,000 fans in that stadium.
Jesus, really? Good Lord.
They hold 100,000, so they can get away with 25%, which is 25,000.
Well, let's start with this because we may be debating the wrong thing here. So clearly, we're all going to tell him to start Pittman in one of those flex spots. Are we telling
Correct.
him to start Corey Davis or Russell Gage over these running backs, or are we picking 3 running backs?
I would go Pittman, Gage, Zeke, and Gallman.
I'm not touching Gage.
I'm not touching Gage either.
Yeah.
You going to touch Corey Davis?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think I would go Zeke, Carson, Gallman, Pittman.
Pittman, Gage, Zeke, Gallman. No
So-
Julio.
So in other
That's
words,
fair.
no answer.
And I feel like every time you doubt Corey Davis is when he actually has a solid floor week.
And this is a week to have a good week.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was going to lean Pittman, Davis, Gallman, and probably Carson just because I don't trust Zeke right now. And again, I don't love Carson's matchup, but his usage within that offense, I think, keeps his floor fairly safe.
Gage looked good against a bad defense last week.
His points came off of him throwing a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he still caught the football and was getting targets. I think Gage is just safer than Corey Davis. I hate every running back in that list you gave me just because of their matchup, and Zeke has forgotten what the game is. But Zeke, Gallman, Pittman, and Gage. Keep in mind, outside of Michael Pittman, I don't like any of my picks. I don't like any of them. But I think those guys give you your best opportunity to win. If you need upside, it's not even close. It's Corey Davis. Because it's either 4, 0, or 36. So if you need upside playing from
I
behind,
wouldn't even go that far because Davis has been so much more consistent. He's really only had 2 bad games all year.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that Corey Davis actually is doing something
Is
with my sleeper
relevant.
pick that I made in the offseason. Because I'm like, he literally can't not outplay his draft
He's been a wide
position.
receiver 3. So
Yeah, is essentially he can't not outplay undrafted. So, you know, I feel like that went well. But yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. The last 4 weeks he had 4 against Jacksonville, 37, 10, and 18. So again, it's either 4 or 36.
He needs upside. He played against Darren Waller, and he started Keenan Allen.
oof,
Oh yeah, Corey Davis, Michael Pittman,
Gallman.
Gallman, and I think you got to go Zeke
I
there.
say for upside, I'd go Zeke.
Yeah, I think you got to go upside for Zeke. Man.
That hurts.
Yeah, I want to give apology. I don't want to apologize for telling people to start Keenan Allen because it's like, how can you bench Keenan Allen?
I don't.
But it did suck that he
I don't
like
want to
that.
apologize for telling people not to play Keenan Allen. So, and I didn't. So, I don't think Dave would mind me sharing this story. Dave sent me a DM. He also recommended that people played Keenan Allen. And for what it's worth, I respect fantasy analysts when they stick to what they said they would do. So the fact that you started Allen, big ups to Dave. But Dave has a pretty decent TikTok following. And if you're not following Fantasy Go on TikTok, it's a great fantasy football channel. Someone, I don't know how TikTok works, but someone kind of did the little duo thing with Dave recommending him to start Keenan Allen. And at the very end of the video, the kid just looks at the camera and goes, "Fuck you."
I love TikTok.
Damn.
But like I said, we're all gonna be wrong at our prognostication sometimes, but at least Dave and me and Josh and Joe, we start with what we say. We don't tell you to start Keenan Allen and then bench him in our leagues. Dave told you to start him. He started him. I
was gonna say you're
him.
playing me in the semis in our dynasty league, and you sat Keenan Allen, and then I
Yep.
was looking at who you started, and I was like, yeah, I would have sat him too.
Yep.
It's just with the question marks, you had the firepower to say I can make this call.
Exactly.
And not everybody has that luxury. You know
100%. And that's kind of what I got a bunch of DMs about it on Thursday. And I said, well, what are your other options? And thankfully, a lot of the people, and I think this goes to our show, I don't want to give us a ton of credit, but a lot of the people had T.Y. Hilton that they could replace him with. And I'm like, oh, you are clearly, and that's exactly who I replaced Keenan Allen with was T.Y. Hilton. So, and it's kind of goes to the tweet I put out on Thursday was there were a lot of people asking us about Tyron Johnson and Jalen Guyton, and Johnson did score that touchdown. If you're playing in week 15, I would just hope you had better options than just these randos off the street. Because I don't know what Tyron Johnson finished with at fantasy points. I think it was
15.
Literally 7.
Yeah,
oh, did he get 15? Oh,
yeah,
okay, my bad.
Because
So.
that
in
touchdown.
PPR it was 15.
Okay, so I mean, a hell of a week
touchdown.
there, and if you had the balls to make that call, more power to you. But that's where you definitely want to have usually one guy on your bench at running back and one guy at wide receiver so that you can make tough calls like this. I am very much against starting guys with hamstring issues just because they are typically decoys. Mike Evans did this to me, I think it was 4 years ago, where he went out there for a game and he was literally only out there to draw attention. And it's just super annoying when that happens.
So I had someone ask me Keenan Allen, start or sit, and he said there's his other options. He was thinking of getting Tyron Johnson off waivers, and I'm like, I don't think Johnson's a bad receiver, but if Keenan Allen's playing, I don't know how you can. As I'm saying, I don't know how you can start Johnson over Keenan. I told him if Allen sits, I love Tyron
Absolutely.
Johnson. Love Tyron Johnson this week. That Raiders secondary sucks. But I just told him, like, if Allen plays, you can't start Johnson. Like, you have to start Keenan Allen.
Yeah, two quick things. We didn't talk about that game. First of all, Darren Waller is something to be worried about for fantasy football.
We said at the beginning of the year that it's Waller, Kittle, and Kelsey, and everyone else.
And I don't remember who it was. It was Marcus Mosher and I got into a little bit of an argument about Mark Andrews versus Darren Waller. I will take that L all day long.
I said in the beginning of the season that of the top 5 consensus tight ends, which we all know that Waller was part of, I felt that because the Raiders spent so much in the offseason to try to improve their receiving core, and by that I meant spending draft picks, I felt that Waller was probably the most volatile. That was a big L for me because
big swing and a miss there.
Yeah, we've seen that it's been Mark Andrews because of the inconsistencies.
At what point do the Raiders just stop drafting wide receivers? Because you clearly don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I mean, Brian Edwards got hurt.
Hunter Renfrow, get out of here, Hunter Renfrow.
But it's Brian Edwards injury, Henry Ruggs injury. They just haven't figured out how to use him because Derek Carr doesn't throw the deep ball often.
That's what I'm saying.
But even Hunter Renfrow has been dealing with injuries as well. And then we saw what happened to him on Thursday night with the injury, which, again, I don't really put that as like a chronic issue. Like, that was just a freak play. Yeah. But it's like, and then they drafted Lynn Bowden and said, oh, we're going to try you at running back instead. Miami's been working him as a wide receiver. So it's like, what are you guys trying to do here? But again, at this point, it's because they don't have anybody else. So let's go with Waller. But then again, the question that I had in the beginning of the season was, what happens when they get wide receivers? Because that's why we like Kelsey, because A, he's a good tight end, but B, the offense works him into it. That's why we like George Kittle. The offense runs through him when he's on the field. Right now, the offense runs through Darren Waller. What happens when they get wide receivers? Does he take a back seat, or does he become still that focal point?
Because they use him as a wide receiver. I mean, if you watch these plays, I don't know that I've ever seen him in inline blocking that I've paid enough attention to ever.
He was a wide receiver that turned into a tight end. So, at this point, ride with Waller until we see something that tells you otherwise.
Can we talk about Marcus Mariota gunning for a starting job back in the NFL?
Yep.
He looked good. I mean, he had a couple plays where I was like, damn, that ball was off. But, I mean, he looked
that throw to Waller, though.
Whew, that was a dime. Oh, my
throw
God.
Was disgusting. And then his ability to run the ball, you forgot he could do that just because he was so beat up upon in Tennessee. I'm excited to see what happens. I like Derek Carr. I'm not a complete Derek Carr hater, but they signed Mariota to a 2-year deal. I think, and they kind of alluded to this on Thursday Night Football, I think you're going to have a camp battle, and I think Mariota's the kind of guy who's going to look good enough that Gruden might make that switch next year. So,
hi.
Hey, how's your eye?
I'm back. Much better.
Yay.
Small, tiny particles of mascara and eyeballs don't mix.
Fun.
I'm sure none of you know that, but...
No, I wear mascara every day.
Ryan and Joe, you might know that from your wife and girlfriend, and Josh.
No, I
was about to say, like, damn.
Maggie's favorite thing is not putting on makeup because she's like,
same.
And I'm like,
you do you, got
man.
all dolled up last week.
Yeah. I'm like, you do you, man. You don't gotta wear makeup.
My favorite thing is not putting on makeup too.
Yeah.
My wife straight up shaved her head so she didn't have to worry about that kind of shit anymore. So
I love that.
Your anniversary picture, I was like,
yep. I made her pull all her hair out.
Yeah.
Made her pull all of her hair out. Damn.
I'm saying
totally stressing.
I was gonna say I'm that annoying. We all know it.
Hold on. We'll get this one and then go back to Sean's question as well, but go to this one first.
Oh, I thought you got everything. I asked.
We did. And then
this is all after.
And then this came after. Come on, Faith. But no, we'll start here. PPR.
Come on,
PPR, Trubisky or Breeze. We'll start with that.
The biscuit.
Yeah, I really don't trust Breeze.
Drew Brees is check down city. Alvin Kamara for 50 points.
I started Kamara in a league. I don't know if it's a league in the playoffs, but we'll find out.
For me, when it comes to Breeze, it's all about how much do you trust him after those rib injuries.
Yep.
Clearly the Saints do. It's a primetime game.
He also doesn't have Michael Thomas, though.
Yeah, and without Michael Thomas, that does scare me, absolutely.
Not appetizing.
But, I mean, we've seen Breeze with less weapons do more, so... And let's be real. I mean, how confident are we really that Trubisky's going to consistently be good?
Oh, not at all.
Exactly my point.
Not for a moment. Not for a moment.
Stream of the week confident.
All right, let me ask you this. If Drew Brees was available in more than 50% of leagues, who's your streaming option?
It would be Trubisky. I'm not on with Breeze. Yeah.
Okay.
Josh, he's coming off. He broke 11 of his 20-something
Again,
ribs?
That's why I said if you feel confident that he is healthy, I think he is the option over Trubisky.
Here's my Drew Brees impression. Here's my 5-step drop. No one's open. Kamara. Kamara.
Yards after the catch are just like we're not getting points for air yards here.
I mean, can we just talk about how Drew Brees is the most accurate quarterback? I know Joe loves that statistic.
The dumbest statistic in the world. So any Jamoke could drop back 5 steps and drop it off to Alvin Kamara. No joke. Anyone could do that. All you have to do is take an NFL. Actually, you don't even have to take an NFL snap. You'd be in the shotgun. Take a shotgun snap, step back 2 steps, and dump it to one of the best offensive threats in the league. That's what Drew Brees does at this point in his career. I don't hate Drew Brees. I think he is a great quarterback, one of the best of all time. what he's come to the last few years of his career
He's a game manager.
is dump off City. That's his job, is dump off City.
Yep. And then you can't bench Akers. I would try to find a way to get DeAndre Swift in your lineup. I don't know who you're starting at your flex, but if you're choosing between these two, you're choosing Cam Akers.
Akers,
Agreed.
yep.
All right. Sean thinks this might be his last question of the day.
We'll figure it out. It's okay, Sean. Keep asking him. We love it.
He's got a 2 QB league. He's got Ben Trubisky and Tua right now. Someone dropped Matty Stafford to pick up Ryan's favorite QB, Gardner Minshew,
Woo!
yesterday. Does he drop Tua for Stafford for next week if he wins?
No, you're not starting.
I
You
would
don't
not.
trust Stafford either. So
No, you bench Tua this week because it's New England.
Correct.
yeah,
But don't drop Tua.
Don't they have a cupcake next week? I
I'll
thought
look.
they had a really easy game.
Cupcakes
next
are
week.
I'll
delicious.
look. Dolphins schedule. They play the Raiders. Yes, they do have a cupcake.
Yeah, you want
On
Tua next week.
Saturday, day after Christmas.
Yeah, I saw the Saturday schedule and I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, week 16 in the NFL.
We actually have a Christmas Day game too. Minnesota at New Orleans.
Yeah. It's gonna
Really, I did not know that.
Mhm. No Thursday game, but Friday game.
Okay.
So just for the record, not
Weird.
even average chimed in. He says I'm choosing those two at his flex. His starting running backs are Cook and Eckler. So Eckler obviously already played,
Oh,
and you're
yeah,
not
yeah,
benching Dalvin Cook.
Okay.
So there you
Akers.
Yeah,
Yep, Akers.
absolutely.
Definitely Akers.
Heisenberg.
I love it.
Akers, Carson, or Cup in a PPR. Pick 2 of them. He's got Aaron,
Aaron
Jones.
Jones.
Diggs, and Tyreek starting with Waller in. His opponent played Keenan Allen for the ship this week.
Dude,
Congrats.
just play floor at that point. Akers is going to get you 100.
Yeah.
Who do you like more, Carson or I would go Cup in that
would
instance,
go Kupp.
honestly. I think Cup's good for a touchdown, so yeah, Akers and Cup.
Agreed.
You're already spanking him. So, and
Yeah,
Stephon
Diggs is going off. And
Stephon
Tyreek
Diggs-
has been he's broken the boomer bust thing this year. He's been absolute boom every single
Well,
week.
hold on. He's not putting up 70 points every week, so he really is boomer
But
bust. Let's be
but
honest.
70
here.
points is a possibility.
7 points is a possibility. But I mean, yeah, I've said it. Stephon Diggs could only have 3 catches this week, and it would be for 270 yards and 3
Yeah,
touchdowns.
he's going to abuse the hell out of the
Oh
Broncos
my
this week.
god!
Yep.
Like Allen, if they're backed up on the 10-yard line, I would love for Sean McDermott to call a Stephon Diggs to run as fast as he can down the field and just see how far Josh Allen could throw the football.
See that throw by Baker, by the way, on the Hail Mary where it went 70 plus in the air? It's like the furthest traveled distance in recorded NFL history, they said.
That's crazy, but
Take that, Mahomes and Josh
Yeah,
Allen.
that's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
but
Now, here's the thing. You laugh, but that kind of stat coming out, do you think Josh Allen in the back of his
Oh, he
head-
knows.
oh yeah, oh he 100% knows. Oh yeah, but it's no Doug Flutie.
He knows.
BC Eagles, baby.
Yep.
There's one
All right,
more.
gentlemen.
We missed one of Dave's questions.
Did we?
Oh,
yes.
right.
Yeah, gamble on Jasicki or go with Gronk.
Gesicki or Gronk.
Gronk, no matter
I
what.
would go Gronk.
Also Gronk.
Gronk Spike for the win.
Gronk smash. Ooh,
All right, gentlemen.
chaka.
Let's do it.
It is time for the point of the show every week, in which I ask you a question that used to be on the spot, but is no longer. And honestly, I kind of miss that. It makes me sad. Hurts
For
my
the-
heart a little bit, but it is what it is.
For the record, it's still on the spot for me because I look at it as you ask the question.
Next year, Faith, you should not tell us what position we're getting.
Well,
Oh.
weird. I know what I know what position I'm getting, so
Nope,
it's really
it
between you
changes
two.
every week.
Yeah,
You guys
if
are
I
gonna get
got an IDP
IDPs.
question,
Yeah,
somebody
congratulations. Okay, I'll get
pissed.
the IDPs. Yeah. Josh, you should pick up BJ Goodson, the linebacker from Cleveland.
Don't even know who that is.
I was literally going to say, I'm sure that joke is very funny to people in the IDP community, but I have no fucking idea why it's funny.
It's funny because I scrolled down and he is projected like the 60th most points of free agent linebackers.
Oh, Josh, you're such a fool.
Yeah, Josh is a moron.
Idiot.
You should pick up Micah Kaiser.
Oh, gosh.
All
He's on
right,
injury-
we're gonna go We're gonna go in alphabetical order, and we're gonna start with Joe.
Oh, that's weird. I'm never first, considering my last name is Z.
I'm going
so
by first name, obviously.
I wasn't really ready for that to be me because I'm
Good.
so used to being. No, I'm just so used to. You said alphabetical order. I'm like, oh, so I'm last.
It's so
we're
weird that
going
I'm
last.
also used to always being last, but if you and I were in class together, you would have been last.
It was funny. One of my middle school girlfriends, her last name began with V, and she's like, I was so used to being last, and then now you're last. I'm like, yeah, it's easy. When I ever sign up for anything, I'm like, Zolo, end of the list. Never fails. Never fails. I'm always the last one. Never fails. Okay, so linebacker John Bostic. He's actually had some pretty solid weeks. He's rostered in 16% of CBS leagues. The last 2 weeks, he's had 10 total, or 10 tackles in each game, and then going back to the week against Dallas, he had 7. Also, the last 2 weeks, he has 2 pass deflections and 1 interception. Playing against Seattle, he loves to come on blitzes, so he may be one of the 6+ sacks that I guaranteed from the Washington football team this week. So I love John Bostic. I want to toot my horn a little bit on Foy Oluokun. Because back in like week 3, and I know Faith is loving me for this because she picked him up.
Yeah.
Foy Oluokun has been on fire this year. He may end as a top 15 linebacker in fantasy football. He's been that good, and he hasn't been he definitely was not on my radar earlier this year, but he's been great. I believe he's a third-year player. And I'll stick in Atlanta. AJ Terrell. I told you to pick him up last week. He had 13 solo tackles in a pass deflection, in a forced fumble. Dude is real. Like, he's legit. He looks great out of Clemson. He plays against Tampa Bay again this week, so he'll probably see Mike Evans, but he may go for an interception. He loves getting in the box and tackling, so AJ Terrell once more rostered in less than 10% of leagues. So he has to be available unless you're, in my league, which I have him. And then D lineman, find whoever is the worst who's playing the worst offensive line on the free agent wire and bet that they're going to get a sack. That's my rule for D lineman. So looking at it this week, Shaq Lawson against the Patriots, Danico Autry against the Houston Texans, Romeo Okwara against the Tennessee Titans, Eric Armstead against the Dallas Cowboys. It's really just find whoever's playing the worst offensive line and bet that they get a sack. That's really what you're looking for in a free agent D lineman if you need one.
I would just like to thank Max Crosby for the giant goose egg he laid.
Yeah, what the hell was that? Because Faith asked me to look at her lineup, and I was like, oh, Crosby against the Chargers, he's guaranteed a sack. He didn't even get a tackle.
0.00.
So I was going to tell you to play Calais Campbell, but the issue is he was questionable, so I left Max Crosby in there. Because if Campbell didn't play, obviously you'd be without a defensive lineman. But I love the Calais Campbell revenge game against the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. So, IDP players. Boom. I know Josh and Ryan are very invigorated in this conversation. If we just add IDPs into the fucking Dynasty League.
Because Ryan is still alive in 4-Eyed Championship. So Ryan does have to pay attention to some of the names.
Okay, and we're going to pay attention to it next year because Josh is going to add in IDPs into the Dynasty League.
Fun fact,
you think.
The 4-Eyed Championship or whatever is me and Ryan, 2 team members from Club Fantasy, and then versus 2 of the Fantasy
and Frames, yeah.
Team.
All right, next person.
Faith and I in the championship.
Next person.
So, real quick before I say mine, Darius Slay not traveling to Arizona.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
They
DeAndre Hopkins.
lost Rodney McLeod, the safety, to a torn ACL.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Kyler
I'm starting
Murray
Kyler Murray. Let's go.
Ball. And now I'm very much regretting that he was one of my fades this week.
Woo!
I'm absolutely going to miss that one.
Woo! Kyler Murray to the moon.
Yeah, Kyler Murray's going on.
I don't care. Still bet Philly to win that game. I don't care. Arizona sucks at home. Bet Philly to cover the spread.
Oh, God, that's going to hurt. DeAndre Hopkins is going to go for 200 this week.
Woo! Kyler to the moon.
Anyway, Gus Edwards. Why
Gus
he's still
Bus.
available, I have no idea.
Gus
He's still
Bus.
available, I have no idea.
Yeah,
No
it's crazy.
freaking idea. Mark
Bus.
Ingram played 2 snaps last week. 2.
Is that a lot? Just checking in. Is that a lot in a
No,
game that
not
was
at all.
Out of
45 to 42 at the
60,
final
yeah.
score?
That
Played.
game was in
2 snaps.
Okay.
Jacksonville absolutely sucks. I firmly believe that J.K. Dobbins will see the most work, most snaps, but Gus Edwards is being used and worked in almost in a way as a change of pace back.
Oh, 100%.
But he gets the goal line carries. So even if he has 12 touches, I would bank on at least 1 touchdown. And
He was the
you can do a lot
RB9 on
worse.
7 carries last week.
Yeah, and you can do a lot worse in your flex this week. So
Ryan.
Speaking of people where it doesn't make sense of their roster percentages, Gabriel Davis is available in 90% of
Love
leagues.
this kid.
Great rookie wide receiver out of Buffalo. John Brown is out again. He has scored a touchdown in each of the last 3 games where Brown has been out. He's averaging 5 targets and 55 yards during that same span. Diggs is always going to get his, but Denver's allowing 35 points per game to wide receivers, and they just let Curtis Samuel and Robbie Anderson both score 15 plus last week. So I have no issue thinking that Davis and Diggs are both, and probably even Beasley, are all looking at 10 plus in this game. And we just talked about this. Davis is the other outside threat. If Josh Allen wants to uncork one in that thin Denver air, it could just as likely be
Rolling
Davis
to
as
Davis.
it could be Stephon Diggs. You could see an 80-yard touchdown out of Gabriel Davis this week. He is a great play in 90% of leagues.
Can I add in an incredibly deep guy who actually his technical position is fullback?
Go ahead, Joe.
Kyle Juszczyk.
Kyle Juszczyk against the Dallas Cowboys. He's checked in twice into the end zone the last 2 weeks.
He's starting to fill that tight end role
checked in
that
twice?
we don't have. So
Juszczyk in twice. That's very
Juszczyk
true.
in twice.
Yeah, I mean he's never had.
That's like ultimate dad joke right there. Like Ryan,
So-
how did you miss that, dude?
So for the record, he's never had a double-digit fantasy point week. I'm just throwing that out there. He's never had it.
You got to be desperate for a touchdown.
Yeah, you got to be like like this needs to be a 16-team league, and you are decimated at the running back position. Juszczyk has found the end zone the past 2 weeks. Dallas is the second worst defense in NFL history.
Like it.
Just throwing it out there. But we do actually a couple
Say,
more
let's
questions.
kill
came
2
in.
more questions.
We do.
Yeah, Yeet. You
I-
missed one from
I know.
TS.
I know. Start
We'll
one
get to it.
half PPR. Jarvis Landry, Brandon Cooks, Claypool, Pittman, or Kuti.
Pittman.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Landry for floor, Pittman for ceiling.
That's fair. Yeah, if you're playing from behind, go Pittman.
I don't love Landry, but I know Bradbury's out, so he'll probably see some. Half PPR, yeah, Landry.
So we were watching college football with stepmom Lauren last week, and we were watching LSU, and there's an LSU player whose last name is Butte.
Butte.
And so
Cute
legitimately
Butte.
Lauren, like every 20 minutes, like we just got ridiculous. We were also drinking, so there's that. So sit
Last
one in
one.
a PPR: Deontay, Godwin, or Cam Akers.
I would say Deontay.
Yeah, I think Godwin's gonna have a good week this week.
Godwin's playing the second worst secondary in the NFL. I think you got to go Deontay Johnson. More come
All right.
in. I love this. Keep asking them, people.
Washington.
Washington to the moon. Montreal. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Because obviously the Bears had a great week last
Yeah.
week against a team that has been relatively hot on offense. Yes, they did lose Brandon Cooks, which hurt. But even then, Deshaun Watson looked pedestrian in that game.
Yeah.
The Bears look great. They did somewhat contain Dalvin Cook when they played him earlier in the year.
Dalvin Cook struggles against Chicago.
Yeah. you're
Yes,
right.
this game is in Minnesota though, so it is, on home turf, but it's indoors though. So that's just something to add in there. So Cook
Yeah.
may be more comfortable.
This is gonna be a big Justin Jefferson week. That's all.
Oh,
I gotta say.
huge. absolutely huge. But
I like him a lot more than Thielen this week.
Washington's defense. If you watched even 2 snaps of that game last week against San Francisco, you quickly realize that Chase Young is going to be the best pass rusher in the NFL by the end of next year.
Yep.
Freak. Absolute freak. And you also realized if Washington gets a half-competent quarterback, they're a Super Bowl contender because that defense is... And again, defenses year to year do waver, but that front 7 is for real.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't see that one wavering because their front 7's going to stay intact and they can really only get better in the secondary. So.
And their front 7 is all young. Like, they've all been drafted in the last 5 years. The only one over 30 is Ryan Kerrigan.
And like we talked about on the Wednesday show, they're almost making it where he doesn't need to see the field. So
Yep. They found a great young safety in Cameron Curl who they can pair with Landon Collins if they really decide to, or put Curl in a flex linebacker
Keep
role.
in mind too, Collins. This was the second year of his big year free agent deal. More often than not, teams can get out of those.
Yeah,
Collins has been disappointing. He hasn't really popped.
No, he's
for the money he's making. I'm saying
he's been a solid safety. He has not been the Landon Collins in New York safety.
the one
He's
thing
been a
I'll throw
solid
out for
safety.
Landon Collins is I've always heard about his leadership qualities,
Yeah.
and I wonder how much that's playing into a lot of what they're doing as well. Though, so.
could be.
Cameron Curl's legit though. Like if they wanted to move on from Collins and they could get out of it, Cameron Curl is legit. This guy looks really good. So I wouldn't be shocked if they did. If they could get out of it with minimal dead cap space, or even try and trade him to potentially get like a 2nd or 3rd round pick, because I think Collins is still worth that for the potential and that he still has. But yeah, Washington's defense is nasty. They need a competent quarterback and maybe a left tackle, and they're good to go. They're good. Don't sleep on Washington. They're good.
I agree.
They're going to spoil some 2 seed or 3, or actually they're going to be the 4 seed technically. They're going to, whoever the 5 seed is, people are going to be like, oh, Tampa Bay I think is the 5 seed right now. They'll be like, oh, Tampa Bay should smoke Washington. Nope. Washington will beat Tampa Bay in the playoffs if they play against each other.
Okay,
We did it.
you did it.
Yeah.
But I want an opinion on this lineup.
No.
All right.
I'll just rude, Joe.
No, of course. What is
I'm starting Watson at QB.
it? Okay.
I have McKissick at running back.
Okay.
I had Hunter Renfrow at wide receiver. And then I am starting Tyreek Hill, Tyler Higbee, Alvin Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, Brandon Ayuk, and DK Metcalf.
Oh, thank
Oh,
God. That
that-
got a lot
That
better.
makes up. I was gonna say I was getting very scared for you at the beginning.
That
Who
got
are
a
your-
lot better.
Who are your other quarterback options? And I know Watson had a good game against Houston, but
My other quarterback option
Indeed.
is Cam Newton.
Oh nope.
Why is he still on your team? Oh my God. Is this in the some bullshit league? I'm gonna list you every quarterback available that is a better option than Cam Newton to have as a backup.
Well,
Give
you
me
don't gotta worry about
I
that.
mean-
You're not
One
gonna
sec.
find someone better than Watson on free agency.
one sec.
so.
Jalen
There's
Hurts,
Hurts,
Kirk Cousins,
Carr.
Matt Stafford, Teddy Bridgewater, Nick Mullins, Mitch Trubisky, Andy Dalton, Drew Lock, Tua Tagovailoa, Daniel Jones, who won't even play in the game, Dwayne Haskins, Sam Darnold, Malcolm Perry, who you can also play at running back and wide receiver, Colt McCoy, Chase Daniel, the GOAT, Ryan Finley, and the next 3 free agent quarterbacks, Manny Wilkins, Anthony Gordon, and Cardale Jones, who still hasn't played a snap in the NFL. All of them are better options than Cam Newton. So I'm just happy we haven't had a Cam Newton question all day today. I applaud everyone who has listened
Well,
to this show.
because at this point, I feel like everybody who watches us should know that it's never Cam Newton.
Well, see, you'd think that, but for the first 13 weeks of the season,
Wait.
some
Here's
people-
a fun question: Ryan, Cam Newton, or Jared Goff?
He who must not be named.
Josh, Jared
I'm
Goff.
not against starting he who must not be named, the Dark Lord, but
He
I
plays
just
the
can't-
Jets this week.
I can't advise people to start him.
Fair enough.
Jared Goff
It was a joke, Joe. Calm
to
down.
Jupiter. Not even to the moon, to Jupiter.
To Pluto.
Pluto's not a planet.
Yes, it is.
to Jupiter.
It'll always
Or
be
actually,
to me.
Jared Goff to Uranus, because that's technically the farthest one. So that's an even better. Jared Goff to Uranus.
I think that's a great way to end the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Jared Goff to Uranus. Cam Newton.
Hurts or Cousins?
Ooh, that is way closer than I thought.
I
you
would go
be asking.
Hurts.
I would go Hurts.
Yeah.
Chicago's pass defense is good.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, Hurts. I don't like it, but Hurts.
See what Cousins did against them earlier this year. He had
I think he had a
All right.
decent game.
he had one
No?
touchdown, 2 interceptions.
Toss,
Joe?
like not a decent game.
I mean, he threw for 292 yards, but Yeah.
Two interceptions offset 100
Exactly.
of those yards. So
All right, we have 4 minutes. Josh, parting words, parting thoughts.
I need some sleep. Go watch some football.
I feel that. Ryan.
As always, good luck. Hit me up if you have questions. And don't sleep on the Washington defense.
To anybody that's in the championship, good luck this week, unless I'm playing you, in which case I hope all of your players do terribly and I beat you. Joe.
to me, okay. Hold on. Let me pull up the lineup that I'm playing to say a little prayer for myself.
Oh.
Just real quick here, because I literally have zero hope for myself. To Derrick Henry, an open letter to Derrick Henry. I hope you minorly sprain your ankle and leave on the first play of the game, and come back healthy as all hell in week 16.
You dirty bastard.
To Alvin Kamara,
No.
I hope Jameis Winston
No.
enters the
No.
game, because
No.
Drew Brees broke his other rib.
Ryan and I are countering that prayer. Alvin, ball out.
To Alvin Kamara,
I got
I'd
Jesus
say,
on my
see Derrick Henry's open letter. To T.Y. Hilton, I know you make Houston your bitch, but I'm going to need you to not make Houston your bitch this week.
Yeah.
To Tyreek Hill, please go back to the bust side of the boomer bust.
No.
To Aaron Rodgers, please only throw to Devontae Adams and Robert Tonyan tonight. I would greatly appreciate it.
I'm
Yeah.
good with that.
And I
don't
know
find that.
no one is going to disagree with that.
Yep.
Adams, all day.
To Kareem Hunt, maybe try out for kicker for this game and
Oh God,
and not play
that
running back.
audition tape's already been sent around. the
Yeah,
league,
it's,
so come on.
No.
to the Jacksonville Jaguars, to Gardner Minshew, please God destroy the Baltimore Ravens. Like if there's one thing you could do for me this year,
I'm all the way in on that prayer.
oh
right
my
there.
God,
Yeah, right, you are.
Minshew, if you allow the Ravens defense to score single-digit points in this league, keep in mind, I put a sack premium in this league. So if you allow the Ravens to score single-digit points, whatever charity you support, I will donate $100 to that charity, okay? Please. Please.
Lindellians and I decided for our 5th place game, it's Herbert versus Minshew. So he has his work cut out for him. We benched all the rest of our lineups. So.
Play game.
And
Wait,
then
really?
the other...
Some bullshit.
Oh, really?
Then the other guys are Justin Tucker, who I will never say bad words against because I love Justin Tucker, and Mark Andrews, who's garbage. So
Holy crap, you guys did.
Yep.
I didn't even
Yeah.
realize that until now.
yeah, so
That's awesome. I love it.
So there's my prayers. I'm very confident in my team. Also, New England, I'm gonna need you to revert back to week 1 through 8, 2019 defense, not
Oh my
last
God.
week's defense. So
Great.
there's the open letter to end the show to multiple players.
All right.
love it.
So
That's all she wrote now.
Gardner
Joe, send us
Oh,
Chris
scored
Carson.
more than
So,
30
Chris-
points.
Chris,
Over.
Chris,
Double
remember I said last week there's games that make me weary of this because what I did with Dalvin Cook.
Double it.
You know the thing that kickers do to up the play clock? This. In reality, I want Derrick Henry to have 40 yards rushing. Actually, in my dreams, I want Derrick Henry to have 40 yards rushing. In reality, he's going to break the single game rushing record. Just in reality. The last time I played this team that I'm playing right now, Tyreek Hill had a 72-point performance.
There you go.
I am going to get boned. So, yeah, Derrick Henry, way over 130. I may just put $100.
If you can bet that over in the first half, do it.
If honestly, I may just bet $100 on Derrick Henry for that over right there, just so the loss in fantasy football won't feel as bad.
I like it.
That's why I encourage people to play DFS. All those people that you think are going to screw you over in the week, put them in your DFS lineups.
Oh God, yeah, Derrick Henry's going to have a monster week this week, and it's going to hurt me from the inside.
All right, Joe. Take us
It's
out.
time. All right, so your weekly reminder: Cam Newton sucks and shouldn't be employed in the NFL. For the one Hudsonian, Leap of Faith, Fantasy 5, myself, and for Pop Sugar saying people are losing it over this disastrous Mariah Carey ornament. That's just what's trending on Twitter right now.
Oh, I was like, what?
I'm like staring at the chat.
No, it was the first thing I saw. Oh, last one! Monier getting it in at the buzzer, like Kawhi Leonard in Game 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers.
T.Y. Hilton in a full PPR. Flex. Pick one.
T.Y. Hilton.
TY.
T.Y. Hilton to the moon.
T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y.
right.
Hilton to the moon, baby.
Joe, go.
Okay, this Wednesday we have our favorite guest, of course, Stepmom Lauren, joining the show
Aw.
for Week 16 Fantasy Football Championships, and we are not spoiling Week 17, ladies and gents. So you can listen to Wednesday's show to figure out who Week 17's guest will be.
However, next Saturday we will also have a guest.
Oh, yes, we will also have a guest. Ryan, would you like to say who the guest is?
Jeff Greenwood from the Fantasy Footballers, who we've tried to get on the show multiple times and have failed. We are able to get him on the Saturday show. He's going to come in and kill it. Great fantasy analyst.
Yes, we are popping his podcast cherry.
Yeah.
I was going to say, and keep in mind, Saturday has a 1 o'clock game, so we're literally leading right up.
Oh.
There's a 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock,
Ryan.
and 7 o'clock. There's 3 games. Yep. And keep in mind for everyone as well, Friday, Christmas Day, there is a game. It is Saints Vikings. So make sure if you make it to the championship or your losers bracket, regardless, if you're still playing, make sure that you set that lineup. Also, if you're not able to make Wednesday's show, because I know we have a lot of listeners that can't make Wednesday's show, that probably listen to the back. Happy holidays if you celebrate Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
If you are Jewish, celebrate Hanukkah. I believe
Hanukkah's over.
It's over. Okay, so
Over.
hope you had a fantastic Hanukkah. And if you celebrate Kwanzaa, which I know is an even smaller holiday, happy Kwanzaa. But yes, enjoy the holidays. Hope everyone, if you're traveling, stay safe. Always remember, defense wins championships, offense wins fantasy football. We will see you next on Wednesday for Week 16 Fantasy Football Championships of no pun intended with the one, the only, Lauren Carpenter, Stepmom Lauren, whose name you can now Google without having to worry about your browser search history. We will see you on Wednesday.